Have you ever imagined living in a place where rats are worshipped as sacred beings? People bathe in a river considered divine, but heavily polluted, and social inequality is so severe that millions live in inhumane conditions. But this is just the beginning. Imagine being forced to relieve yourself outdoors. This is a reality for many Indians. Today, we will reveal some shocking facts about India that you probably didn't know. Get ready to uncover hidden truths and be amazed. In India, there is an unusual place called Karni Mata Temple, also known as the Temple of Rats. It houses around 25,000 rats. People aren't afraid of them. In fact, they consider them sacred. The temple is located in the state of Rajasthan, right in the middle of the desert. As you enter, you'll see rats everywhere. They scurry across the floor, climb the walls, and even eat from the offerings left by visitors. Devotees believe these rats are the reincarnations of people and treat them with great respect. It's common to see people offering food and even allowing the rats to walk over their bare feet. One popular belief is that there are a few white rats among the thousands of brown ones, and seeing a white rat is considered extremely lucky. The temple is dedicated to Karni Mata, a woman who lived in the 14th century and is regarded as a saint. Her followers believe she had divine powers. Although it may seem strange to many, the Karni Mata temple is an important part of local culture. Every year, thousands of people visit it, whether out of curiosity or religious devotion. The Ganges River is much more than just a body of water. For millions in India, it is sacred. As you walk along its banks, especially at dawn, you witness life and spirituality unfolding in real time. Men and women cleanse themselves in the waters through ritual baths, seen as a way to purify both body and soul. There are chants, prayers, and offerings that blend with the sounds of the flowing river. It's a deep connection with the divine, with the sacred flowing alongside the water. The Ganges is believed to possess transformative power. For many, it is not merely a river, but a living goddess. Its waters are thought to cleanse sins, offer blessings, and guide the souls of the dead on the right path. Spirituality here is not just a religious practice. It is lived daily, in small actions, in flower offerings, and in oil lamps floating on the water at dusk. Imagine this sacred experience shared by millions simultaneously. That's what happens at the Kumbh Mela, one of the largest religious festivals in the world. Every 12 years, millions of devotees gather along the banks of the Ganges and other sacred rivers with a single goal: to bathe in the waters and attain liberation. Sadhus, Hindu monks covered in ashes, walk alongside pilgrims from across the country and around the world. People sing, pray, and join groups, all seeking something greater than themselves. Throughout India's history, the caste system has played a profound role in shaping the country's social organization. This rigid structure divides people into hierarchical groups based on birth and has been one of the most influential forces in defining identities and social roles. One of the darkest consequences of this system has been the marginalization of certain communities, historically relegated to occupations deemed impure or degrading. The main caste divisions are four: Brahmins, Kshatriyas, Vaishyas, and Shudras. Each caste, or Varna, has specific functions within society, forming a hierarchical structure. Brahmins are regarded as priests and scholars, responsible for religious rituals and spiritual teachings. Kshatriyas are warriors and rulers, tasked with defense and governance. Vaishyas are merchants and farmers, keeping the economy running through trade and agriculture. Shudras perform service-oriented tasks, such as manual labor and domestic work, supporting the other three groups. Outside of these four Varnas are communities known as Dalits, or untouchables. These people perform jobs considered impure, such as public sanitation and waste handling. Living conditions in India's slums reflect the country's stark social and economic inequalities, especially in rapidly growing urban areas. About a third of India's urban population lives in in slums, facing a combination of extreme poverty, lack of infrastructure, and insufficient public services. Cities like Mumbai, Delhi, and Kolkata are home to some of the largest slums in the world, where millions live in extremely precarious conditions. Most of these slums are informal settlements, meaning residents often lack legal rights to the land where their homes are built. This creates significant insecurity as families constantly face the threat of eviction. Many of these homes are made from makeshift materials such as plastic, metal sheets, wood, and other discarded items. This makes them vulnerable to natural disasters like heavy rains and strong winds, especially during the monsoon season. Basic infrastructure is severely lacking in these areas. Access to clean water is limited, and in many slums, families must walk long distances to public water sources. Sometimes disputes and long queues occur, worsening the situation. Sanitation is another major challenge. Most slums do not have adequate sewage systems, forcing many residents to rely on communal toilets or relieve themselves outdoors, contributing to the spread of diseases. Overcrowding is a defining feature of India's slums. Many families share tiny spaces, often with multiple people living in a single room. This directly impacts the quality of life, as poor ventilation and cramped conditions create unhealthy and suffocating environments. Schools in slums are often underfunded, resulting in poor quality education. Many children drop out to work and support their families, perpetuating the cycle of poverty. Healthcare is also a challenge, as public clinics and hospitals are often far away, and local healthcare services, when available, are frequently overwhelmed and poorly equipped. Despite these hardships, slums are also hubs of intense economic activity. Many residents work in informal jobs, such as street vendors, domestic workers, and waste recyclers. However, these jobs rarely provide financial stability or labor rights, increasing the vulnerability of these families. Traffic in India's major cities is known for its density and often chaos. In metropolises like Mumbai, Delhi, and Bengaluru, traffic is heavy, with millions of vehicles sharing often congested streets. Cars, motorcycles, bicycles, buses, and rickshaws all compete for space, creating situations where traffic rules seem to be ignored or improvised. In addition to vehicles, it's common to see pedestrians crossing unexpectedly, and even animals, such as cows, considered sacred by Hindus, walking freely along the roads. One of the most notable aspects of Indian traffic is the constant honking. Unlike in many countries where honking is reserved for emergencies, in India it is a form of continuous communication among drivers. It signals overtaking, warns of curves, and is even used as a way to move through traffic. The country's road infrastructure, especially in urban areas, struggles to keep up with population growth and the increasing number of vehicles. Roads are often narrow and poorly maintained, contributing to frequent congestion. While signage and traffic rules exist, they are not always followed, creating a sense of disorder where drivers seem to follow their own rules, which can be confusing and dangerous for visitors. Indian street food is renowned for its variety and bold flavors, a result of traditional culinary techniques and the use of spices. However, the environment in which street food is prepared and sold often presents some sanitation challenges. One of the main concerns is the lack of access to clean water for food preparation. Many street food stalls operate without adequate infrastructure, meaning the water used for cooking, washing ingredients, and cleaning utensils may be contaminated. In several parts of India, access to potable water is limited, and vendors sometimes resort to unsafe water sources, which can result in contamination by bacteria and parasites. Another common issue is the improper handling of food. Many street food vendors lack access to facilities for washing hands or sterilizing utensils, and personal hygiene is often neglected. Handling money, exposure to open air, and the absence of proper refrigeration further increase the risk of contamination. Since street food is often prepared and displayed along busy roads, it is also exposed to air pollution and dust. Mishandling perishable ingredients such as meat, dairy, and fresh produce presents another health risk. The hot and humid climate in many regions of India accelerates food spoilage, especially if proper storage methods are not followed. Some stalls lack refrigeration or reuse cooking oil over long periods, which can lead to the buildup of harmful toxins and bacteria. These factors make street food a potential source of foodborne illnesses. Additionally, the sanitary conditions surrounding street food stalls can be problematic. Stalls are often located near piles of garbage or open drains, attracting insects like flies and rodents that can contaminate the food. Inadequate health inspections in many cities exacerbate this issue. In India, using the right hand for eating and greeting others is a cultural norm associated with purity and respect, observed by most of the population regardless of region or religion. The right hand is considered the clean or pure hand, used for actions involving social interaction, such as greetings, handling objects or money, and especially eating. In many parts of India, meals are traditionally eaten with the hands instead of utensils, and using the right hand is seen as a way to maintain hygiene and show respect toward the food. On the other hand, the left hand is associated with tasks considered unclean, such as personal hygiene after using the bathroom, reinforcing the importance of not using it in social situations or while handling food. When greeting someone, it is expected to use the right hand, whether for a handshake, offering gifts or objects, or performing the traditional namaste gesture, where both palms are pressed together in front of the chest. Using the left hand in these situations can be perceived as disrespectful or inconsiderate. For foreigners, understanding and respecting this custom is crucial when interacting with Indian culture. While younger generations and urban areas are becoming more flexible with these norms, the use of the right hand is still widely practiced and valued across much of Indian society. Pointing one's feet toward people or sacred images is considered disrespectful and offensive in India. This belief stems from the idea that feet are the dirtiest part of the body, as they are in constant contact with the ground and dirt. In Indian cultural and religious contexts, feet symbolize the lowest position, both physically and spiritually, making it inappropriate to direct them toward anything or anyone of importance. When visiting temples or sacred places, it is expected that people behave with reverence. Sitting in a way that points the feet toward a deity or sacred image can be seen as highly disrespectful. Furthermore, when in the presence of others, especially elders or individuals of high status, it is important not to point your feet toward them, as it can be interpreted as an insult to their dignity. And that's it for this video. Share your thoughts about India in the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel and leave a like. Your support means a lot to us. Click on the video that's appearing on your screen now. We're sure you'll enjoy the content. Thank you for watching, and see you in the next video.